Hey y'all, Jen Dionne here, and these are things about lung cancer surgery that nobody tells you.
Let me feel your love again.
If you're like me and you're facing lung cancer surgery and really had no idea about lung cancer and it just kind of came out of nowhere, there's probably a lot of things that you don't know. Now, I know that you're going to have all these appointments with nurses who are going to tell you what to expect with your lung surgeon, consultations, all that stuff. You're probably going to Google online, but I'm going to tell you that there are definitely things about lung cancer surgery that you're not going to know. The number one thing that I didn't know is the number of medications. I didn't realize that you would have to be taking pills pretty much nonstop for pain control. The pain control is mostly because of the nerve damage and the muscle damage, not to mention the incisions and the fact that you had major surgery into your body, but you're just going to have to deal with taking lots and lots of pills for the next month or two or until you recover. Whatever side that you had lung cancer surgery on is going to be extremely tight. The whole area is just going to feel tight. It's going to feel like you can't move one way or the other. For me, it was my left side, so everything is just super tight. It just feels like I can hardly move this entire side. It's going to be hard to bend down and pick things up. It's just mainly going to be uncomfortable. I can tell you that the pain for me immediately after lung cancer surgery was excruciating, mainly because when I got out of anesthesia and got wheeled into my room, the nurse who was in charge of my medications went on lunch, so she was nowhere nearby. Nobody knew what pain medications I had been given. So I come out of anesthesia and I am in the worst pain ever. Now, I had all my children at home. I never had pain meds. I'm used to pain, but this was so bad. It was so bad that I was even telling my husband to get a gun and shoot me because I just could not handle it. I'm pretty sure that a bullet wound would not have been as painful. This was later a joke amongst the nurses, and I really told my daughter, who was there too, should have been YouTubing this because I was just screaming in pain until they got me some pain medication. So immediately after surgery, it's gonna hurt. Okay, for me, when I was in the hospital, I got a blood clot shot in my stomach before I left to prevent blood clots. Nobody told me that I was going to have a huge bruise from that. And not only was it a huge bruise, this bruise is still there and it's been almost 4 weeks. So you're gonna have a huge bruise on your stomach. And I didn't know what it was from. And I had to call my nurse and be like, hey, what is this from? And she's like, oh, did you get one of those shots? I was like, oh. You know, it would have been helpful if the nurse had told me that, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to get a huge bruise. The pain that you are experiencing during your lung cancer surgery recovery and right after is mainly due to the nerves that were cut while they were operating on your lung tumor and taking it out. That is where the pain comes from. Also, what you need to know is that your whole side of your lung is just going to be painful to the touch. It's also going to swell. It swelled so much that I was asking my husband, hey, do I look bloated? It's like, no, it's just going to be swollen and it's going to be like that. It still is for me, and I'm almost at the 4-week mark. It's just going to be bloated for a few months until everything evens out. Your incision scars most likely are going to look nasty. I don't know how else to put that. I had 5 because I had the VATS lung surgery operation. So there's a couple down here and then along my back where they insert the tools, and then the one for the blood drainage cavity. I didn't even want to look at them. They just grossed me out. And then one of them ended up being indented. So a little concerned about that. I called my nurse. She's like, oh yeah, that's common. It should even out, but it's still gross. Like, I'm older, so I don't really particularly care what my body looks like, but that doesn't mean I want nasty scars on my body from this lung cancer surgery. Now, I was warned that I would not be able to wear a bra, that it would be uncomfortable, but I didn't realize how or why it was uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because the swelling of your chest area, and then it just hurts. And then it's sitting on the incisions as well. So a lot of the times don't wear a bra. I didn't wear a bra for the first 2 weeks. It really just kind of adds to the fact that you're uncomfortable as hell after lung cancer surgery. Doing your breathing exercises after lung cancer surgery is nothing but a pain in the ass. They give you one of these spirometers and you breathe in, and you're supposed to get it up to this point right here. But I mean, for the first few weeks, I was just like giving up. It was just like, it was hard to do and all that stuff. And then I was also working out too, making up my own workouts. So I kind of use that as my breathing because this thing is nothing but a pain in the ass. Okay, one of the hardest parts for me, at least for lung cancer surgery recovery, was that you won't be doing anything with your life. I am serious. Probably for 2 months, you won't be able to do anything. So you're going to watch your friends go on spring break vacation, which happened to me. In fact, I had to cancel my spring break vacation because I got lung cancer, which was unplanned and just, came out of nowhere. So I had to cancel that. And it's really, really difficult. I also missed the CrossFit Open and the quarterfinals for this season, which just made going on social media terrible because you see your friends living life and you are basically stuck. And then, at work, people are like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Well, sitting around, recovering, like letting my body do its thing. So just be prepared that, there's one thing to be said about, oh, I'm going to have a weekend where I don't do anything and stay home, but it's a totally different ball game when you're forced to. Your incision, where the tube was for me, was the most painful incision for me. And also when I took showers, it hurt because the water pressure would hit me and it would just hurt. So just be prepared for that. You will most definitely sleep a lot, which is another thing that you definitely want to do for lung cancer surgery. For me, I was going to bed like an hour and a half before my normal bedtime schedule. I would just work during the day, and then at night I would just hit a wall and be like, whoa, I gotta go to bed. So that's what I did. So just be prepared that you're gonna be sleeping a lot. You will want a nice pillow to rest on. For me, since my lung cancer surgery was on my left side, I had to sleep on my right side. It was given to me by the hospital. Super nice, super size. I mainly used it to lay down, rest my arm against when I was sleeping. I'd hold it against my side. I would also use it to brace when I was coughing. So just super nice. Get one of these. Hopefully they give you one, or just have a really super comfortable pillow that you like to use because you're going to need it. There's no real way to sugarcoat this, so I'm just going to say it. Everything is painful. Everything you do is going to hurt. Everything you do is going to be uncomfortable. It's just something you're going to have to get used to. The other thing that I was unprepared for lung cancer surgery recovery is that you're going to have a lot of doctor's appointments. You're going to have a whole care team and a care journey, which I had never heard of before, which is super, super great. But just be prepared. You're going to be going to the doctor's office a lot. I also had probably a dozen chest x-rays throughout my entire process, from diagnosis to afterwards, and then rechecking and all that. So just get used. You're going to get a ton of scans, you're going to get a lot of chest x-rays, and you're going to be besties with your doctors. The fact of the matter is that lung cancer surgery sucks. There's no sugarcoating that. There's no way to be like, oh, it's fine. The only thing that is going to power you through is the thought that you no longer have cancer. Hopefully you are cancer-free, or it's part of your treatment, and it's going to help you live longer and live a better quality of life than having lung cancer and dying early. So that's the only thing about lung cancer surgery. You're just going to have to power it through the pain, the fact that you can't do anything, and that pretty much everything in life is going to suck for a few months. So lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer in the US and worldwide. More people die from lung cancer than colorectal, pancreatic, and breast cancer combined in a year. So it is often overlooked, and I believe it's overlooked because people think that it is the disease of smokers. It's also one of the ones least likely to be diagnosed because the symptoms don't show up until later. Stage 3 and 4. But yet here I am. I'm one of those who never smoked. I just happened to grow up in a smoking household and got lung cancer from my 18 years of exposure to secondhand smoke. Also, my mom smoked when she was pregnant. Great stuff there. That's how I got lung cancer. So it's just one of those diseases that really should get more attention, because people, when they find out about it, you're in the latter stages, and then treatment is just terrible and sucky. Lucky for me, I was stage 1. It was caught early, and hopefully I will be cured, and I'm just gonna have to get CT scans the rest of my life. So that is the hope and the prayer. So for all of you guys out there battling lung cancer, that's my hope and prayer for you, that when you do find it, that you can get through it and get through it well and come out on the other side with an incredible quality of life that you can still live with years longer than you would have had. Exercise is important for your lung cancer surgery recovery, and I have done a whole series that you can check out right here on my YouTube channel if you subscribe, about how to get back to fitness after lung cancer surgery. So it's a lung cancer surgery recovery story. So I hope this video helps you through your lung cancer surgery recovery. I would love it if you would leave me a comment. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more great content here on my channel. And wish you luck during your journey. Bye.
'Cause I've been running round in circles, screaming out your name. Take me to a different